Hello, welcome to Back to the Beast Roundtable on the powerofvoices.com. I am your host, Honey, and I'm sitting in today with a special, very special co-host, my cousin, my bestie, my cupcakes, no, Miss Trina, aka Miss Jersey Sweetie. Hey, thanks for sitting in with me. Oh, she says that. Before we go any further, I want to shout out Khalid Shaw. Without him, this would not be possible. He makes it possible for us to come together and bring back to our communities, and that's what we do here. So today, we're going to get right into it. We're talking about, it's bothering me. I don't do reality shows anymore. I used to. And I especially don't like the black reality shows. Mm-hmm. So I thought it would be a good topic to talk about. I know we have a lot of young people out here getting very involved in reality shows. And to me, it just makes us as black women especially look bad. What do you think?
I agree. I have 3 daughters, and the one thing I try to teach them is to have self-worth and self-love. And when you look at those reality shows, they don't portray that. Everything's fighting. Who has this? The latest fashion, latest designer. You know, what body part they can fix, which one they can't.
What can they add? What can they take away? There's somebody, and I cannot recall who it is right now. Supposedly, she took some of her ribs out to make her waist smaller. Oh. And I'm going to have to Google it, who it was. But at this point, it doesn't even matter. The fact that we are doing things like this, and at a young age. I mean, we were discussing before we went on, Tiny, married to T.I. Not only has she had a lot of plastic surgery, she went and had her eyes enhanced to be colored. And then her daughter did it. And her daughter is still, her daughter may be in her 20s, but you're 20-something years old. What are you doing? You know, first of all, that's a whole nother level of getting your eyes redone. Changing your eye color. That's a whole...
I didn't even know that was possible.
I guess anything's possible now in America, but...
I guess if you got the money.
She changed her eye colors. So now her daughter's eye colors are changed. And it's like, what possessed you to want to do something like that? Because I heard that procedure can be very dangerous.
Once again, it's that lack of self-worth, self-love. You got to love who you are. When you wake up in the morning, you love who you are. Without makeup, without lashes, any of that. Be comfortable and love who you are.
Right. Now, I don't want it to sound like it's only us, because we all know that it's not only us. I mean, you know, I'm still at awe at the fact that Kendall Jenner, Kylie Jenner, at the age of 17 got a full body makeover. I mean, she got her breasts done, her booty done, her lips done, stuff done to her face. I mean, she just did a whole full-fledged makeover at 17 years old.
But when you look at that, look at the parents. Because as kids, your kids look up to you.
Right.
And most of the time, that monkey see, monkey do.
Mm-hmm.
They imitate that because kids want to be like their parents. Most kids, they admire their parents. Right. And when you have your father doing what he's doing, you know, and your mother's doing what she's doing, and then you have your sisters, what else do she know other than this is the way it is? If I don't have this, or if I don't look like this, then I'm not pretty.
Yeah. I think the only one who hasn't did anything major is Kendall. And it's like, another person I'm looking at is Lil' Kim.
Oh my goodness. She was so beautiful.
She was fine the way she was. Now she just looks... And I often, when I look at Lil' Kim, I often wonder if she wakes up and looks in the mirror. I mean, it's obvious she's not happy. But at any point, does she wake up in the morning and look in the mirror at herself and say, I'm beautiful? Is she
She
happy?
has to.
She
At,
cannot
at,
be happy at how she looks right now.
she has to be something. Because if she wasn't, she wouldn't continue to keep doing what she does. Because she fixes things. Nothing is ever going to be perfect enough. And that's why she continues to keep doing it. I mean, is I use Nicki Minaj because all girls, they kind of, I won't say all girls, but majority girls look up to her.
Right.
And they want that image. They
Right.
don't feel like they're pretty enough
Right.
because Nicki Minaj is what they consider as that black Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
When in all actuality, the things she do, she's not comfortable with who she is.
Right.
You know, you love, once again, love who you are and the way you are. You know,
I
it's not broke, don't fix it.
So now it brings you exactly. And now it brings it to reality shows. We get these girls. One of the ones that I really can't stand is Love and Hip Hop. Any of them. I don't care if it's
I
Atlanta,
don't
New
like
York,
Love and Hip
LA.
Hop either.
I cannot watch that show. I've never watched the Love and Hip Hops. I used to watch Basketball Wives back in the day. I cannot do Basketball Wives. Now, I was a big, big fan of the Housewives. Atlanta Housewives, Beverly
Can't
Hills
say. Never
Housewives.
watched them.
I used to watch those. I used to love those. I stopped watching Atlanta probably 5 years ago. I don't watch any of them now. I don't watch. The only reality show that I used to watch was Mob Wives. And when Big Ange died, it went off, and I didn't even watch the last seasons. I didn't want to see, what was going on with Big Ange. But that was the only one I would watch. But these reality shows, they have the women fighting each other all the time. They go on these, and I know a lot of these shows are scripted, but still, if you're scripting it, do a better show instead of having all these women, especially the black women. That really bothers me because it shows that all we're going to do is fight over men and fight over money, and that's not what the black community is about.
No, it's not. You, you know, you hear now about everything that's happening in the black community. And when you don't have any positive role models, because when girls look at Love and Hip Hop, a lot of them want to be part of Love and Hip Hop. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they want to imitate what they see.
Right.
It's that monkey see, monkey do thing. And when you have that, what hope does the black community really have? Because all you're teaching them and showing them that this is the way it's supposed to be. You know, as black women, I take my black women and I try and tell each black woman, you're beautiful. You
Right.
know, fix your crown on your head and you wear it proudly because we are queens. Your
Right.
little girls are your princesses, and that's how you raise them. They're princesses, and you groom them
To be
to
queens.
become queens, and you help them straighten their crown up. And once again, it's a lot of that begins with that mother.
Right. You know, I think a lot of it too has to do with the mothers that we have now, and this is not to
That's them
disrespect
new
any.
age modern
Yeah,
mothers.
these and not all of them, but there's a lot of mothers now that they're not raising their children. TV is raising their children,
Exactly.
and for me, when my sons were younger, because I would hear people say, "You let your sons listen to rap music with explicit lyrics." Yeah, I do,
Yeah.
because I talk to my children. I've always talked to my children.
Hmm.
Don't be a fool. Don't allow the media or music or TV or anything to make you do what they do.
Yeah.
You can sit here and hear, because in the real world, we don't want our children to be exposed to profanity. But
It's there.
I'm not going to sit there and say I have not used a profanity. I don't use profanity.
Exactly.
They're going to go to school. They're going to use it. I remember when I went to school, we used it.
Hmm.
People use it. So if you think you're going to shelter your kids from the real world, good luck with that.
Yeah.
So you talk to your children.
You have to talk
And you
to them.
teach them.
And that's one thing. I have one son. And one thing that my husband has been an advocate for is talking. Like, he talks to him and to let him know that when he's younger, the Grand Theft Auto, you let your son play that. Yes, I do. Because he knows the difference between fiction and reality.
Right.
So, yes, he's allowed to do this. He had a friend that wasn't allowed because he didn't know the difference. But once again, when do you sit them down and you talk to them? And you can't just say, well, I communicated. I learned that you can't just talk. You have to, it's something called effective communication, where you can talk all day long and think that you're communicating, but if you don't effectively communicate, you're not really saying anything.
Right. Right. I don't, you know, um, I hear people say, well, it's because they don't have a father in their life. And a lot of that can be true. A lot of, especially with the girls, because I think I am a true believer that the first love of your life should be your father.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and your father should show you how a man should treat a woman
Yes.
by how he treats your mother and how he treats you.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a lot of that anymore,
We don't.
unfortunately. But at the same time, it's very important to teach your children, to talk to your children. And like you said, if you have daughters, groom them to be queens so that they can be,
You
I
have
mean,
to.
princesses so they can be queens.
You have to sit them in the mirror. Let them know you're beautiful. You don't have to have long stringy hair. You don't have to. It's okay. Love. When you look in that mirror, you teach them because they're young. You teach them it's okay. You don't have to have big lips to be beautiful. You don't have to be light skinned or dark skinned to be beautiful.
Hmm.
You you are just the way God wanted you to be.
Right.
And that you have to instill that. The more you tell them they're beautiful, you love them, you encourage them to love who they are. And that's how they will grow.
Hmm. I think it's the scary thing for me is the young women that we are raising today. These girls out here today are something else. And when you watch, like the Love and Hip Hop, and I'm sorry, but I pick on them the most because I cannot say I fully watched the whole episode. I have seen bits and pieces because my oldest son watches it with his girlfriend. But what I have seen is just awful. I just think the way the girls, they're half naked. Let's just talk about that for a minute. Any woman out here today to think that you have to show half of your
Another
body.
show for you too.
Hmm?
I have another reality show for you too.
Okay. Any woman who thinks they have to show half their body to get a man is ridiculous. It's
Once again, it's how you raise them. I was always told the sexiest woman, the more attractive woman, is that one that is clothed, because you give them a man wants to wonder.
right.
If you show it all, as my grandmother say, you put it all out there, you ain't gave his mind no kind of imagination.
Nothing. He already know
Because
what he
he already
getting.
know what it is. But if you are clothed, he has to use his imagination. So that makes him desire and want you more.
Right. And trust me, if he can come after you, and it's lust. It's only lusting because you're
Mhm.
showing him half your body. He's like, okay, I see all this. I'm right there. I'm right there to the promised land, and you gonna give it to him. And once they mess over you, they're done.
But it's respect. That is like a word that it should be in everyone's vocabulary on a daily. Is respect. I am very big on respect. If you respect yourself as a woman, then the next person has no choice but to respect you.
Right.
It is respect, and I don't see that that's happened in the households today.
Right.
Our young mothers, because they don't have respect for themselves, so they cannot teach it to their children.
They cannot.
It can't be done.
You see the girls today just out. I mean, just we can drive down the street right now, and
We
you're
just
gonna
seen
see.
one.
We're gonna see some stuff that's gonna be like, wow, really? I see videos all the time on social media where the young mothers got their baby girls
Twerking.
twerking.
Oh my goodness. That right there gets underneath my skin.
Twerking, and it's like she's no older than a year or two, and that's what she's learning how to do.
And not just the daughters, but the sons too.
Yeah.
So what are you really teaching them?
Right. What are you teaching them? Do they know their ABCs?
You got
Do they
to watch
know?
Black Ink.
Okay, so what's Black Ink? I've never watched it.
I've
heard of it.
My oldest daughter, she is into these reality shows. So sometimes I will catch glimpses before I say change that. I'm not gonna sit here and watch that. Or you need to watch something else. And by the way, she is 22 and has mad respect. She may get angry, but she still has mad respect, and I love her for that. But Black Ink it has a few black guys on there, and they're tattoo artists, and there's the black women are tattoo artists also. The owner of the tattoo shop, Black Ink, he sleeps with all the women. So the women do nothing but fight amongst each other. Because now you slept with him, but you knew I was sleeping with him. But it's almost like, what respect do you have for yourself? If you know that he's sleeping, then why are you being messy doing the exact same thing?
And
Just check the show out.
and they do it, and it's like, do you see what he's doing?
Just so you can see it, how degrading it is. Not that I want to promote that Black Ink thing, but because I'm not. I am totally against it. But just so you can see how degrading, the lack of respect, it really is.
I sit back and I wonder, one, do these women even get it? These young girls, do they even get it? What the guys are doing to you? Because trust and believe, a person will only do to you what you allow them to do. You have to stand for something. So if these women, they're allowing these men to treat them this way, and they know there's another woman. They're accepting there's another woman. Nowadays, it's not about being the only one. It's about being number one.
Yeah, exactly. They don't care that he's married. I don't know where this main chick, I don't even understand where it came from. But I respect myself so much. And I hold my queen crown. And I wear it very proudly.
Right.
I could never, ever say, you know what, I'm the main one.
Right. I'm not gonna be your. If I'm not
The
good enough,
only one.
if I'm not good enough to be the only one, then let me go.
It ain't even about letting you go. It's about I'm not fooling with you. Period.
Right. But sometimes you don't know.
No, you don't.
In the beginning.
In the beginning,
so that's
you
why I
don't know.
put out there. If I can't be the only one, you don't need me.
Leave me alone.
There's somebody out here that's gonna want to make me their only one.
Mm-hmm.
I may have to wait, but there's somebody out here. So if I can't be the only one, let me go. Because best believe if I find out, then you're gonna be by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're gonna be with those people. And women, men, I know you see all these big booties and big breasts and all this stuff, but trust and believe, at the end of the day, as you get older, you want a woman in your corner who's going to have your back and is going to be respectful, who's going to respect you. Because these women out here, I mean, we were just talking about we heard something about somebody was cheating on their husband, and the husband, I don't know if I've seen this on a show, or I don't know what this was, but they were cheating on the husband, and the husband found out. Was we watching that? No, we was watching that show, Crime CSI or something.
Oh, yes.
Remember? Mm-hmm. And it's like, this really happens, though. And it's not just the men. It's the women, too.
Exactly.
And it's like people are not getting enough. Like, one person cannot satisfy you.
Mm-hmm. But, once again, it's a little deeper than all that when you say that you think about not just the cheating part, but all the disease that go with it.
Mm-hmm.
AIDS run rampant.
Mm.
Okay, it runs rampant. And when you're just out sleeping and doing whatever and allowing guys to misuse you, you never know what it is you're getting. And once again, it's that respect. How much do you love yourself?
Right. If you can't love yourself, let me tell you something. I love myself enough to know that I have to be the only one. I'm not going to allow myself to be with someone just because of what they have.
Exactly. I've never been that one.
I have never been that one. I don't want to be with you just because you have something.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have nothing with you and we
Build.
build it together than get with someone who has everything and they treat me like I'm beneath them.
And the reason why is because there's no growth there. If they already have it all, why do they really have you?
Right.
You know, most men, they want a woman that they can grow with. So if you have nothing you can grow with, how long will the relationship last? What are you guys going to do together? Because most longevity relationships, marriages, they have grown together. So they've built their castle.
Right. Now, I will say you might find a guy or a woman who's already established. Maybe they just got a bad relationship, divorce or whatever. So he's established, she's established, and he meets somebody, or she meets somebody. And so it's like, okay, I have this already. But there's still a growth that you can do with that person. I was going to say
there's still growth.
Because they're going to, if they really are a business person, they're going to want you to grow.
Yeah, they're going to want you to grow.
They're going to want you to grow.
And I will agree with that. They will. It can still be growth there.
Yeah, but it's just how they treat you, what they're about, and what they're ready for. And I think we're scared to, when we meet someone, to ask them, what are you looking for? Because if you meet a guy and he says, well, I'm not looking to get married, I'm not looking to settle down, then you're going to, at this point, you're set, and you are. So you're looking to settle down. You're looking to get married, but he's not. But he has something that you want, so you're willing to settle just to be with this guy, knowing that because we, especially us as women, we think we can change him. I can make him want to settle down. If you don't, I don't care how good you look, what you got, what you don't have. If he is not ready to settle down, he's not. No. And it goes for her too. And it goes both ways. And the women are worse than the men nowadays, but it goes both ways. But you have to stand your ground and know that you're worth something, especially the women. And I'm talking to men and women, but I'm really talking to the women because I see us allowing so much. Like, I used to get the guys to say, oh, let's go out. And then when you exchange numbers and they don't call you, they text you.
I don't like texting.
They text you and it's like, let's come over to my house and watch Netflix. I don't do that. So right away I tell guys, look, I don't go to guys' houses I don't know. I don't go to any man's house that I don't know who you are, or I don't have some type of already built relationship with you. I don't go to men's houses. So I get a lot of slack for that. You're too old for this. You're a grown woman. Yeah, you're right. But I don't go, if you want to take me out, we can go out. We can meet. And we meet.
Yes.
I'm not getting in a car with you. We're going to meet somewhere. Let's meet. Let's get to know each other. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to pick up the phone and talk anymore.
No.
Everything is texting or Facebook messaging or whatever. How are you getting to know someone by texting or Facebook messaging?
You're not.
You're not. So, ladies, women, understand that you're not going to get to know anyone. If a guy if he cannot pick up the phone and talk to you and communicate with you and get to know you, then he's only after a short time relationship or something. Short term. Not much. Just what you have to offer, and he's going on to the next.
Yes.
Now, there may be some exceptions. I don't know. But for the most part, I don't see anything positive coming from a relationship where the guy or the girl is constantly texting. And I know some grown people, and I mean grown, that just want to text.
Yes. And
I don't get it. Texting is not for communicating. It's for, little things, sweet things, or, hey, I'm on my way, or if you're working and you're texting just to reach out and let somebody know you're thinking about them. But conversating, you have to conversate. So, back to the women, I really would like, and I have a lot of things that I want to work on, but putting together some type of something for these young girls, not the 20-something-year-olds, right? I think they're already far gone. You might can catch some of them, but the teenagers, because they, like you say, they look at the Nicki Minaj's and the little
They
Kims
do.
and the
They do.
the Kardashians and Jenners and whatever, and it's like I want to the Miley Cyruses, and
They want to be like
they want to
that.
be like them, and it's like your mom needs to be in your
But,
ear
but
telling
most
you
of their mothers want to be
like them
that
as well.
way as well. So they really don't have anyone to follow or to look up to. And with some women, some mothers, they're working so much that they're not really being able to raise their children. And I will say that, because I come from a single family,
Hmm.
a single parent home. So my mother, she worked. So really there was no one there. And I won't say like how long ago to
Hmm.
tell my age too much. But my grandmother is the one that raised us. And it makes a big difference now.
But you know that old joke. There's no more big mamas. There's no more
They're out there, but they're scared.
they're
They are I won't say scared. They're out there. And I say that because my aunt, that's what she calls me, Big Mama. Because it's like I will take, if I see a child, a kid, a teenager,
hmm
and I see they're doing something they're not supposed to, I will say something. But in the back of my mind, I'm looking like, where's this mother going to come? Because now she wants to fight because you don't tell my child anything. That's the world we live in now. Instead of how my grandmother used to say, it takes a village to raise one child.
hmm
It does. It
It
takes
does.
that.
It does.
So without that, we're going to always be lost.
Always. And it's I just it bothers me a lot because I see it happen every day, and
Hmm.
I see it them the girls getting younger and younger, and they're half naked, and now you got, before I say anything else, I don't knock anything that anybody wants to do. I support everything
Oh,
that people want
yes.
to do.
No matter what it
But
is.
you have a lot of these young, and I mean young kids that think they're gay. I don't know how many times I see a girl
It's the end thing.
10, 11, 12 years old, and
They
they're
have
gay.
no clue.
They
They
have
have
no
no
clue.
idea.
So are you really gay, or is this a fad?
It's what they want to be.
It's what they see.
It is. It's not. Let me rephrase that. It's not what they want to be. It is. Exactly. It's what they see. It's what society, is what the media has put out there. So it's like, what else do they really have? Growing up, we didn't watch TV a lot
Right.
because you're going outside. You're gonna go play.
Mhm.
You're not getting ready to sit underneath grown people. You Nowadays, what does all children have? They have some kind of electronic device,
Mhm.
phone, tablet. The computers is almost obsolete to some of them because you have all the cell phones.
Mhm.
But that's what they have, and that's what really raises kids now. There's no more playing outdoors.
Mm-mm.
It's no more, let's get to know each other. You want to meet someone? Go on one of these dating sites. You want to, like you said, go out on a date or whatever. They're going to text you instead of, as the old people, they don't want to court you
They
anymore.
don't want to court you anymore.
They don't want to court you anymore. I'm a text, and this is what it is.
And the girls are accepting it.
And they accept it. And as far as, oh my goodness, the nothing drives me more crazy. Like I said, I have nothing against LGBT. I don't. The one thing I do is over the top, and a lot of them is because when you look at them, you can tell they just want
Yeah.
to be like someone else because that's what they see. That's like the end thing. It's a fad. So when it all goes away, then what?
And if I would think that people that are part of the lesbian gay, what is it, LGBT,
LGBT.
I would be offended that you have so many people that's taking advantage of what you're trying to build and get out there, because I do think about the gay rights. They
Yes.
absolutely have
Have
their
the
rights.
rights.
I support
You are
them.
who you are.
But there are people who are really gay, and that's who they are their whole
Mhm.
life. You have people now that's going, oh, I'm just going to be gay for a while. I'm going to be bisexual for a while. I'm going to sleep with women for a while. I'm going to sleep with men for a while.
And because it's an end thing.
It's an end thing.
I think some women when they, oh, I'm bisexual. You do that not because that's what you like, but this man, he likes it. If he could see two women together, this draws a man
To
to
me,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's not cool.
And it's not cool. And so it's like any other thing that gets overly excessive. Like, like I get mad when I see people trying to be too black. If you know what I mean. It's like you making it bad for black people when you just doing way outlandish things. So in the gay community, I would be highly upset for the people who's just being too, and you not really
Flamboyant.
about that life. Because there are people out here who are fighting for their rights, and you step up here and make people not take them serious. And that goes in any culture, any community, any race. You got someone in every nationality who takes things a little bit too far. And so for the people who are fighting for the rights, people are going to sit back and laugh at them. Why should we take you serious? And you got this person walking around with his pants down to his knees. He's sagging.
That's something else too. I get so tired of that. When I see women, girls, I won't say
Sagging.
women. Let's say girls, and they're sagging, and their pants are just as low as the guys, which
With
I don't
boxers
condone
on.
it, condone any of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, come on, you be who you are, but pull your pants up.
Pull your pants
And that
up.
goes for the guys and the girls.
Right.
Pull your pants up. I heard this boy, a teenager. Oh, they don't respect us, so why should we respect them? First of all, you're not respecting yourself.
Right.
So how can you demand respect from someone else if you don't have it for yourself?
Right. And see, I had this conversation with my co-host. We talked to him about respect. He's younger. He's part of the millennials, and so he believes that in order, I shouldn't have to respect anybody because of their age, or they don't respect me. When we were growing up, you respected your elders.
If you was 1 second, I was always told this. If you're 1 second older, if they are 1 second older than you are, you're going to give them respect.
Right.
You get the yes, ma'am, the no, ma'am, the yes, sir, the no, sir. Even if you didn't use sir or ma'am, you always said yes. And kids don't do that nowadays. I seen a YouTube video of a young guy fighting an elder, someone that could have been his grandfather. He's sitting there literally fist fighting this man. And everyone that sat around and watched it, to me, that's like horrifying. When did the world become like that? So when did society say that that's okay?
It has gotten out of hand. I'm going to go back to what you said. It takes a whole village to raise a child. Back in the day when I was coming up, my neighbors, we were latchkey kids, so to speak. We had to stay home. My parents worked. As my grandmother got older, and she didn't want. Well, my grandmother used to watch me a lot. She had passed away. So when people get older, we had to. I was a teenager. We had to stay at home with my brother, and we couldn't go outside. Or if we did, we could only go outside if the neighbor was home. And that neighbor would watch us, and the neighbor down the street watched us. So there was people from all angles that was watching our house and knew that we were at home. And if we walked out that side and we weren't supposed to, my mother got a call at work because they had the work number. Nowadays, a kid will tell you, "My mama said I ain't gotta listen to you."
Exactly, they will,
and they will cuss you out.
It's the lack of respect.
And I'm like, what happened in our world that people are teaching their children to be disrespectful to their elders?
Because it couldn't have happened to me. If I disrespected, y'all don't got to listen to you. And they went back and told my mother, that's it. I already knew what was going to happen. I might as well. So it was best to just respect. And that's where it comes from. But I do believe there is no such thing as a child that's lost. Because any kind of TLC, any kind of nurturing that you can give this child, you can change the way their mind will think.
Mm-hmm. I do believe that there are a lot of children out here. First of all, I believe that children, at the end of the day, want discipline.
They do.
They won't ask you for it, but they want discipline.
And don't get discipline mixed up. Like a lot of people get discipline mixed up as spanking or whipping or beating. That's not discipline. Mm-mm. You can discipline someone as far as saying, no, we're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Sit right here. That's discipline.
Right. I have my cousin, his sons came over a couple of years ago. They were at the house and they were just doing stuff, just doing it, going in and out the refrigerator, doing stuff. There are certain things I don't allow in my house,
Mm-hmm.
even from my children. So I got on them. I disciplined them. I didn't have to hit them or anything. I just told them, you can't do that here. You're not going to do that here. You're going to have respect. You're not going to do that here. And I assumed he was ready to go home. So when they got ready to go home, I'm like, he going to be the first one jumping in the car. He asked, could he stay with me?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, can I stay with Auntie? And I was like, what? Like, I didn't say. But they actually respond to discipline. And like you said, it doesn't mean you have to beat them.
It's the TLC.
It's just the TLC because the child wants to know that they're cared about.
Yes. That's all. Everybody. Everybody. I don't care how old, how young you are. Everybody wants to feel loved. Mm-hmm. Everybody. You want to feel like someone cares about you and they love you. So when you feel that, you want to be around that.
Right. And you do. And it makes you feel comfortable. It makes you feel safe. Mm-hmm. I remember getting disciplined by family members, and it just makes you feel like, okay, you get angry at the time of the discipline, but then you want to stay because you know that they care about you at the end of the day. So we don't have that anymore. Like I said, we don't have the big mamas no more because when your mother and father had to go to work, your grandparents took care of you. Mm-hmm. 9 out of 10. Back in the day, when a grandparent became a grandparent, and not all the time, but normally most grandparents was 50 and older.
Yes.
Yeah. Some of them were 50 and older. That's when you became a grandparent.
That's when
now you 30 years old.
Yep.
You're a grandparent. At 30 years old, you're still living your life.
And you still have children that you're trying to raise.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like, okay, it is. It's.
And then you got the ones where mama and grandmama party in the club together. Oh, yeah. So who's watching the baby?
I can't. I would never do that. I could not.
I couldn't either.
My party days is up. those are done.
I've never been a big partier. Mm-hmm. Never did clubs like that. Probably in my lifetime, I've probably been to maybe 3 clubs, if that. Don't do clubs. But I'm not about to party with my children. I am a grandmother. And there have been times that I was single at the time. So I was ready to date and go out, My son had, his first son. And he would say, well, I want to go out tonight. You have plans? Well, I do, but I'm going to stay home and watch my grandson because, one, I don't want nobody else watching him. Mm-hmm. Right? So now I'm going to cancel my plans so I can stay home. Now, this is not something I'm going to do all the time because it didn't happen all the time. But the times that he would say, do you have plans? I would never tell him I did. I would be like, okay, I'll watch him. So I'm going to cancel my plans, And so that's why for me, dating was just like, it's not going to work for me because I love being a grandmother.
I love it.
I love it. And
I'm a new grandmother and I love it. It's like the absolute good feeling.
It is. And you want to, you don't want, because I was lucky that for most of my children's younger life, my mother watched my kids. So I never had to take my kids anywhere. And when my mother passed away, my youngest son was probably 7 or 8, but my kids were at an age where they can stay at home and look out for each other.
Yes.
So I was and then I still had my dad, so he watched them too. But, I never had to take my kids to daycare or anywhere else. So for me, I want that for my grandchildren. If I can stay home and watch them, I'm going to stay home and watch them.
Yes.
I'm not going to go out. Going out is not that important. Wasn't that important to me. So it's very important. We don't have the big, and I'm old school.
I'm very
with
old
everything school. I do. I'm very old school. So I'm not the one that's saying, okay, this is okay, hanging in the street all the time, or I don't want to see the kids twerking and doing. No, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna do this right. We're gonna educate. Like my grandson likes to read. He loves to read and tell stories. So we do, we make up really good stories and we read, and he does all these things, but. It's very, very important that we, like now I look at it like my kids, they're grown, they're whatever. Now it's time for me to help mold the grandchildren.
And that's where it will begin. Because like you said, most millennials, it's done. it's up to the grandparents. Now we have to show our grandchildren this is the way it's supposed to be. So you
Right.
can get back to those big mamas.
Right. We do. We need to bring Big Mama back. Now I don't know if
We
I.
have to.
I don't know if I want to be because I am. Well, I'm not big, but I don't know if I want to be Big Mama. But I'm Nana. So Nana's back. I'm Big Mama. Okay. Well, whatever.
Nothing wrong with big mama. There's nothing wrong with big mamas.
Big Mama. Yeah. It's important that we have these. Your grandparent. The grandparents are stepping up and taking over. If you're not, unfortunately, you may have some parents that you may have to say, okay, give me this baby. I'm gonna raise this child.
That's like a good percentage of it is like that. Most of today's society, that's what you're going to have. You have the grandparents raising the children because their children aren't doing it.
Are they too young?
Or they're too young and they have no idea what's going on.
There's a crazy story. This is somebody that we know where the mother is not helping the son to be a father.
Of course not.
They don't want the son to be a father. They want the son to be, don't work, get a check, don't do nothing, take care of me first, and whatever. And it's like, who does that? Who?
It's like almost lost for words, but I believe it's a true saying. The only thing a mother can do for her son is teach them how to love and nurture.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to a man to teach him
how to be a man. Right.
Because as a woman, we can't do that.
Right.
Because we don't know what this man is going. We don't know. We can teach him how to love. We can teach him how to nurture, but we cannot. There's no way I could teach my son how to be a man.
Right.
That's for his father to do.
And it's very
any male, any male that's in a positive role. It's up to that one to teach him to be a man.
To be a man. And it's very important. We have to watch who we have children with. We have to make, girls are going out nowadays and they having kids with Lil Ray Ray in them. Lil Ray Ray not even a man. It's true.
It's true.
He's not even a man. And his mama's not, and I know she can't.
She's not even a parent.
But she's not a parent. Because even though we can't teach you how to be a man, I'm going to teach my son, or I'm going to try to teach him or show him how to be a father, a good father. I can't teach you how to be the man part of that, but take care of your child. Go to work. I'm going to be here for you, but I'm not going to be here for you so that you can hang out in the street.
Exactly.
I'm going to be here for you so that you can do what you do, go to work, provide, and do it. And I'm here for you. Like, I will take care of my grandchildren all day long if you're working and doing something. Now, I believe all parents need that little getaway.
They do.